So thank you all very much for coming. We're going to go through the new product preview. Let's begin. The first thing we're actually going to start doing is a World of 3A. You may have seen them out in the dealer room. They have officially licensed Hasbro products. So they started off with their G1 Optimus Prime, very detailed. I mean, you can see it again in the dealer room. It's just incredible. Their next big figure they're going to do is Megatron. And again, it's going to have crazy articulation, lots of accessories, light up eyes, and chest piece. Again, if you ask them, they'll even turn on the lights in the showroom for you. So if you go again to the next slide, you can see the range of articulation, the amount of details, where you can turn on and off the power. It's not a switch, it's a cleverly hidden button. And it scales well with their other Optimus. And the next slide is a teaser for their upcoming G1 Bumblebee. And then the next would be a teaser for last night, official product for next year in 2017. And now we'll move on to something different. DNA Design. DNA started off doing some really interesting upgrade kits. They started off with a good Devastator kit. They're doing more for Fortress Maximus, articulated hands, different guns, hip pieces, and ankle tilts. They're also doing their first standalone figure, Susanoo. We actually had this sample in Toronto in the case. You couldn't make it this year, or to this show, sorry. But it'll be a fully articulated version of Bludgeon. Nice little tank mode, and again, it comes with different accessories, different faces, stuff like that. Scales well with other Masterpiece style figures. Okay. Beazle Boss, again, known for their upgrade kits. They're starting. They've done some in the past. The Trailbreaker kit, I just believe, came out. Gives them shield and squinty face. Go to the next slide. You'll see the Untraceable Pieces case. So a new head, chest, gun, and briefcase for Nightbeat. They also have a set coming out. Go to the next slide, please. The Iron Lady set. So more accessories for the 3 Generations Fembots. And there's also a BBTS exclusive with different colors. Spiritual Leadership set. This is a really nice set too. It turns it into a more comic accurate version of Optimus Prime. And there is available for the Beta Core Prime and the United Warriors version as well. Unleashed Fury. So they're doing an upgrade kit for the Combiner Wars Megatron, and even to further their kit as well. More accessory ankle tilts, better hands, and hand axe. And they'll have a big kit to make a conversion set for Nova Prime. They're still working on it, so tweaking some of the designs, but it will be coming in. Gigapower have released these gigantic Gigasaurs. We actually have Grasshopper in the case out in the display area. Lots of cool accessories, flame breath, light up swords, light up gun, different face plates, red face, red head. There's the previous offer as well. And then their next is going to be Gauntliter, their version of Swoop. Nice and big, again, lots of accessories. They'll have light up weapons, light up swords, scales well with their version of the Gigasaurs. It includes a flight stand to give you a look at how that looks together. And there's just a render that they set up for this. So you can see what it's going to look like, what colors they're going to choose for the final product. Spark Toys. Spark Toys started off with Alpha Pack. It was their version of a War Within Optimus Prime. They have a Megatron coming as well, and they've recently been showing off pictures of their Grimlock as well. So you can see here, it's based on the War Within design. So here's some in-hand pictures. Again, they couldn't send it, the prototype was just too fragile, wouldn't have made it. But there's a lot of detail to it. It's a big figure. You can see like in behind the wings, there's turbines to help cool him down because he's such a big guy. He scales really well with their Alpha Pack figure. Fans Hobby. Fans Hobby is a brand new company. They're going to be starting off doing the Monster Bots. So Again, they're a masterpiece or a high-end chug style of figure. Tfcon, again, he's scheduled for, I think, a June release sometime next year. Again, those are estimates. It may be sooner, maybe later, but that's what they're aiming for. Fly Pro, recently revealed. Really nice figure. They want to have a lot of articulation. These are the figures that they grew up with, so they want them to match the newer figures of today. Pretty good update. Lots of articulation. And then their fourth figure will be Roadbuster as well. They're going for a comic book design for their Roadbuster. It's an early sample, an early CAD design, but we'll be seeing more of that shortly. Bad Cube. Bad Cube, we first showed Bad Cube 2 years ago with their version of Brawn and Outback. Now they're getting closer to Grump and Slick. And they have some gray resin photos. They're still tooling it, they're still working out some of the bugs. Lots of different accessories. Happy face, sad face. Scales well with their previous Brawny figure, and all their figures, really. Furthermore to that, even though these are 9 and 10, the next ones after that are Speed Bump and Lori, and they'll probably be out first. And you can see here's Speed Bump, their version of Trailbreaker, lots of articulation, looks really great with the brothers. Looks great with their other figures as well. Lots of detail, lots of accessories. Very close to the old Toyota Hilux that the vehicle was based off of. There's Lori as well. And they're different enough that you can adjust the height. You can have a short and stubby looking Lori, or you can have a taller and slender looking Lori. All the accessories that come with a certain television episode. It's a bit of a one-sided ass kicking if you ask me. But all their designs are very similar. They have that cartoon feel look to them. Bolt Forms. Bolt Forms are actually joining us here in the dealer room. They're doing a live product. You can try out their figures. Their Gladius the Dark Emperor triple changer from robot to gun to tank. Lots of different accessories. They want to emphasize a customizable option. They want you to have a gold chest or a clear piece or the original, so you can kind of modify it to how you like. You can make it a little bit more personal, more your own. They're also going to be doing some SD transformable cone heads. So stay tuned for more of that in the upcoming months. Perfect Effect. Perfect Effect started off doing, well, anyone who buys Combiner Wars probably has a handful of their sets. Hands and feet and guns and all the cool stuff. So they're doing a set for Fortress Maximus as well. They're reissuing their old Master Sword to go with Fortress Maximus. And they're also doing DX06 Beast Gorilla, which is their version of Optimal Optimus. Lots of cool features, better build quality, metallic painting. You won't have to parts form to transform it between, and it will have die casting. So it's going to be big. Lots of articulation in the hands, even the feet. Good range to go with any of you Beast Wars fans. Even has a spark chamber, different modes of flight to give it a little bit more of a streamlined look compared to what the toy actually looked like. It's a big fella. So look forward to seeing more of this figure early next year. Wonderful space sculpt. They got so much detail in that one area. So DX9. DX9 will be going forth with, they just released Mitron, their version of Megatron. I believe he's actually available on the showroom floor as well. They're going to get in next to their D series. See some of the accessories that come with them. So the D series start off with Hanzo, their version of Six Shot, but you can actually see it out in the dealer room as well. Okay, you can see just a rough idea of what the other modes look like. From there, we're going to go into the Warner Pocket series. I love Legends figures. That's my wheelhouse, the jam. So I love all these tiny little figures. So you can see Bumper. We actually have Bumper in the prototype stage in the cases. We also have Quaker. And they're good looking. They're very close to almost how the original Dinobots looked in size. Usurper and his buddies, Blue Bolt and Sky Shaker, and their buddies, Rash Collider, Noisy Bragger, and Gallower. And you can see there the Dinobots together. I believe the swoop's called Skyer. And these are very similar to the samples that we actually have out in the cases. There are little guns and little swords in there too. There's Skyer. They're very posable, even for such small figures. Look at the articulation and the posability of that Legends figure. And he goes well with their Hulky. So next, they're also going to be doing something called Kaleidoscope, and they're going to go outside of Transformers. So anyone who's ever played Overwatch will recognize Bastion as Freeman, and he'll actually transform. He's got his turret mode. He's got his now he has a Metal Slug type vehicle mode, and he'll come with very posable. He's got his little bird friend. It's going to have some alloy parts in it as well, so anyone who really got into that game, this is going to be that figure you're going to need to have. I don't play it, but I really want it. I think it looks amazing. Unique Toys. Unique Toys is doing minifigures as well. They're doing the Palm series, which are basically just little Headmaster figures. They've released recently Tom and Jerry. They're amazing names. But, they're very basic Headmasters, but they transform. They give you that feeling. And all the weapons are kind of storable in different modes. It was a well done little figure. Planet X. Planet X started off really strong with their version of Omega Supreme and the Dinobots. Now they're going on to more Fall of Cybertron figures. Starscream. She'll be a moment. They call him Moors. So he comes with his null rifles or sniper rifles. He comes with a mace weapon. He comes with his crown of leadership. Very posable, very sleek looking, very arrogant looking. But they really touched on, they really improved their paint game. Everything has a nice shinier look to it, almost like a glowing metallic that the video game characters had as well. Now, one of the figures that's already out there is Perceptor. He actually might be for sale at some of the booths. So this is based on the video game version of Perceptor, who is a heavy gunner in the game. He still has a makeshift microscope mode, but he's mostly a tank now, in this series anyways. Again, lots of detail, his sniper rifle from the comics. There you can see his tank mode. It's not like the original didn't have a tank mode, but a little more known for being a microscope. Here's Jupiter, their take on Optimus Prime. Also have a pretty close to finished sample in the case as well. Lots of detail, lots of articulation, matrix of leadership. Has a nice, the Path Blaster I think it was called, his axe and the sword from the game as well. Lots of detail, even just like the thrusters, that it has that glowing metallic look from the video game. And there you scale with their version of Grimlock. They will be doing a Tfcon. It will be a larger figure, leader class. It will actually break into two pieces. It can transform as one, but it'll actually have like two small ships as well for a little bit of extra play factor, and it will have a base mode as well. So they plan on showing more of this figure next year as well. See, there's the base mode. And it was never shown in the video game, but they wanted to include that because of who the character was. Iron Factory. Again, Iron Factory made very detailed Legends class or Legends size figures. You can see there are Assured Knights. Those are actually out for sale. Amazing figures we got it. Miramasa, their version of Drift, and his counterpart, Miramina. It will come as a 2-pack. Really interesting figures, very detailed. Nice shiny chrome on the swords. Very posable. Sturdy too. Lord Scorpion. Again, if you like the old Marvel comics, he has a very Marvel comic feel to him. He has the original toy gun and toy shield, even the little headmaster. The helmet opens up and that little headmaster actually transforms. He's got a scorpion mode, he has a base mode as well. It's, for such a small figure, it has so many options. Here you see there are two earlier offerings of Windblade and RC. Very cute figures, very manga feel to them. And you hear see Ultimate Commander and Magnus trying to pick them up at a bar apparently. Failing miserably. They don't like him. He's being a murderer. And he's getting drop kicked in the face. So that is their version of Alita 1. You go to the next slide. Alira. This figure will only be available if you pre-ordered the first batch of Ultimate Commander. It'll be a gift that they're going to give to fans. So she comes with new weapons, new head sculpt based off the Pink Lady mold. The cute couple. This is their version of Six Shot. We also have in the case as well. They're working on the name, so there is no final name at the moment, but he comes with 2 swords, 2 guns, very posable. He has all of his different modes, very articulate for such a small figure. He can really get a range of emotion. Why a wolf needs a sword, I don't know. There's his submarine mode. Thankfully, I was worried he wouldn't be able to get out of the water. Flying wolf mode. Suck it, Magnus. And the Phase Sixers. Amazing. Again, a lot of detail, a lot of posability. Fans Toys, you guys heard of these guys? Fantastic. So they have their versions of the Dinobots, very popular figures. Their version of Grinder we had in Toronto. He's almost finished, so stay tuned for that. He will come with different heads for the existing Iron Diebots they have out to give it a different look. They were listening to fan feedback. Some people didn't like the faces, or a lot of fans didn't like the faces. So they're giving options. They're giving you alternate plate models. You can see all the accessories that will come with crew lock, crown, different jowls, different eyes for the dinosaur. They're going to have their version of Springer, Apache. He's still in the development stage. This figure should be available sometime later next year. Sovereign, their version, their take on Galvatron. Again, another figure that we had in Toronto. Very nice detail, very accurate to how the railgun cannon worked. It looked. He has it coming. They have their version of Blitzwing coming as well, and Lupus. So they're going to start their own headmasters. Very detailed. Very cartoon accurate. If you ever watch the old Headmasters cartoon, he has the pointy kind of beak look that they decided to animate on the wolf. And he comes with a different face for Tesla. And there's his accessory, transforming tail into a sword. Phoenix was a figure that a lot of fans have wanted for a long time. They've spent years going through different design changes trying to build the figure. So you can see the resin model here. It's going to be huge. He's supposed to be a big, massive figure. Science buddies for life. And it won't parse for him. Boom, spin right. So they're going to go into mini-bots. He looks really good next to Masterpiece Bumblebee. A lot of detail. They're actually including 2 different heads. And you'll see that here as well. Different shapes. Very nice. Coot, the old timer. With his target master and his scouting face. Pretty nice looking vehicle mode. The weapons come out from the back. Next we have Terminus Giganticus. I figured most people would be pretty happy, pretty excited for this. Big working base mode. Okay, it all kind of comes together. You can see that it fits. The big reveal for the face sculpt. Wow. All right, let's show him. Here's the big master. So he towers over everything. He's got light up features as well. He has the light up eyes, light up cannons. Did I mention he's massive? Look at this. This is a prototype and he can hold Quakewave. Like, I got nieces that can't hold Quakewave.
Oh my god.
Flip a visor. A lot of detail on that face skull. A lot of fans are going to love that. G Creations. So you can see a lot of their product. It's taken a while to get these figures out, but Hammer is just starting to come out, so you can finally build your Shuriken. Blade, who was recently released. They also have the blue sample that was limited to like 500 worldwide. You see him there. And Hammer, who's almost finished, he comes with the other half of their gigantic double blade for the combiner. And he comes with lots of accessories too, his own guns, his own double blades. But very impressive looking Dinobot. Now again, it's a combiner. Some people like the idea of the Dinobots combining, some don't. It gives you options, it gives you a different flavor. But he looks wicked. And you can see they're going to be doing more IDW inspired figures as well. They'll be doing Optimus Prime. A very nice comic book inspired look and feel to it. Transform Dreamwave. These are upgrade kits for existing Combining Wars figures. We have the Verticus set out in the case, as well as their Defensor kit set out in the case. Again, everything kind of transforms and works compatible with both modes, or all modes, I should say, of the figures. There'll also be one for Superion as well. So just again, another option, another choice for fans. Toy World's been really knocking it to the park. Again, if anyone got Constructor, that thing's massive. Beautiful figure.
One guy.
They have cone heads coming out very shortly. They're just finishing up tooling. They have their version of Cup as well. He looks ornery, very upset. But again, nice streamlined vehicle mode. They're going to be doing their version of Optimus Prime called the Ryan. Again, their version of Springer. They also have a version of Jazz coming as well called Blues.
That I like.
Delightful little Cosmos. Pop-out guns. He's adorable. He's adorably low. We'll have a new version of RC as well. Close to a G1 design, but again, close to a badass comic book style with swords. More options for Trailbreaker and Hoist. A little closer to the toy design than they would be the animation design. It's still pretty cool looking figures. Generation Toy, they've been, again, they've had their own Constructicons. They have their own version of a Legends-sized Megatron. It's called Tyrant, and then Megasauri, which was their apology to fans for taking so long. Their version of Jazz. Again, nice, and the paint on this thing is phenomenal. It's nice pearl white. Really makes the figure pop. And they're going to be doing, again, their own version of IDW Prime and Megatron. So hopefully these figures don't take as long as the last figures do. Again, these will all have a lot of detail. I can't imagine any third-party figure not having a lot of detail these days. But everything will have lots of articulation, a lot of small mold details. They want to really make it look like the comic book characters jumped out of the page. Transformation is, again, their take on the IDW Stunticons. So they want to make sure that these figures from that particular part of the comic really come to life. So I believe the first figure is actually available for sale. I'm pretty sure I saw it in the dealer room as well. They have more figures coming soon. Garrotron. Garrotron is a newer company. They're going to start off with a Thunderwing, based heavily off Stormbringer. It's almost ready to go. Again, that's also a figure in the cabinet. It's going to have like features, lots of articulation. Again, his Stormbringer, like siege mode. They're also going to do Galaxy Demolisher, which is their version of the Beast Wars Neo Unicron that never saw release. They're actually going to be doing two versions of this figure. So you're going to have two completely different Unicron options. This is the first one. This is the one based on the actual Beast Wars toy. And they actually have a new one coming out that's separate from this. It has all the same gimmicks that the original unreleased figure never got around to doing, and they've tried to improve on those as well. He's a pretty big guy if he works that Supreme size Primus. There he's all lit up. And here you can see the newer version of the figure. So this is what they want, like an 86 version of Unicron for their own. So he has the big cannon from Energon. Is it Energon? Lots of detail. So if you need two more Unicrons in your collection, you're in luck. Don't act like you don't want two more Unicrons. And his little moon-based buddy. TFC Toys. TFC got off to a slow start with some of the combiners, but the Hades figures have really started to shine through. They're aware of some of the issues with like ratchets and stuff, and they've been trying to do fixes and repairs for people as well. Pretty cool looking figure. They're also doing the Tfcons. Okay, this is Manta Razor, the version of Sea Wing. I think I'm getting a phone call. Go away. So, he'll have lots of accessories, guns and swords. He can turn into a fist, into a leg. He's got a weapon stand and a weapon mode. Cyberjaw, he's already available for fans. We also have a sample in the case as well. The whole gimmick behind the Tfcons, if some people didn't know, is it was a combiner, but they were also triple changers, and one member could also act as a gun. So they want to make sure that they have all those options for each of the members that could do it. Big Bite. We can go a little faster. These are pretty known. Their first release from the series. Iron Shell, the leader. Very sturdy figure, very big. That's obviously the torso. And there you can see how big and thick that torso mode becomes. Their version of, I can't remember. I want to say Scotland, but it's not. That's a lobster. I'm sure it was Bob Budiansky's idea. You see there the final combine mode. Very intimidating looking combiner. They're going into the Trinity Force for next year. That's their version of Road Caesar. They're going to start off with one of the Lycan pieces. It is going to have a functioning Brainmaster to go with it. You see it goes through the chest and comes up through there. Alien Attack, these were upgrade kits for some of the older movie toys. It's still coming out. I know a lot of people were looking forward to this, even for the movie Megatron. Better arms. Even an upgrade kit for Ratchet. the Primo Vitalis kit. This kit is really nice. It takes a little bit of effort. Yeah, you have to knock some pins out. It's a little more involved, but it looks really, really good once it's on there. And you'll be able to see that kit in the case as well. X-Trans bots, they're really pushing along with some new stuff. They have a new version of Ollie. They improved a lot of the mold defects they had the last time. Eligos and Trenchian is almost ready to go. We can see pretty close to finished sample in the case. Abaddon is still coming. A lot of people were concerned that it wasn't going to happen, but it is still happening. Dante, they have their prototype in the case, and they'll also have their other versions as well. Da Vinci, the Master Builder, and Tirador, the Target Master. Mech Ideas, they're going to be doing their own version of Lyle Kaiser as well. If anyone's ever had their figures in hand, they're just incredible. But it's a good-looking, bigger, detailed-looking goodbye. Mastermind Creations. Again, we had the Fero Queen exclusive last year, or sorry, at the last show in Toronto. Very popular set. To go with your Fero Kings. Dominicus, so their black version of Nova or Nemesis Prime. Anubis, one of the convention exclusives based on Death Set. Titania, their version of Strika. It will share a mold with Roadbuster. All of these figures right now, we're very lucky to have them at the Ages 3 and Up booth as well, to show everything, the Toy Joker booth. A lot of detail. Their version of World, of course it comes with a sword. And that will also share a mold with their version of Obsidian. Carnifex, finally released. I know a lot of people picked them up today. Years of waiting, patiently waiting. Coulter, you like the DJD. He's also in the case. He's not too far out from release. More is their version of another DJD member. And the impressive silhouette of the next figure to come. Sorry, I can't even say it. Tyrantronus and Tyrantron. So this actually will go between the old minor Megatron and the new Lost Light Megatron. So we'll have interchangeable